Oh, this one's good. My friends are warning me to leave my boyfriend, but won't tell me why. Am I missing something? It does say these people are in their 20s. They've been together for 1 year. And it says the following dialogues are not verbatim, but I made it just so you get the point. I've been dating my boyfriend for about a year, and I thought everything was going great, or at least from my perspective. He's charming, attentive, and we have so much fun together. But lately, my friends have been acting really weird about him. They've started dropping subtle comments like, "Are you sure you're happy?" Or, "You know we're here for you, right?" It feels like they're trying to hint at something, but whenever I ask them outright, they just shrug it off or change the subject. Recently, one of my closest friends told me, "I think you should get out of this relationship before it gets worse." But she refused to give me a reason. She just said, "I can't tell you right now, but you'll see eventually."
What?
I feel stuck because I don't see what they're saying. Sure, my boyfriend has his flaws, like he's a bit controlling about how I spend my time. Red flag. For example, he doesn't like it when I go out with my friends without him and will call or text me constantly to check in. If I don't answer right away, he gets upset and accuses me of ignoring him. He also doesn't really like my friends and will say things like, "I just don't think they're good for you," or "They're jealous of what we have."
Oh, God.
He's also made some concerning comments about my appearance. He'll tell me I don't need to wear makeup or dress up because I'm already his. And if I push back, he gets defensive and says he's just being honest. He even threw out a few of my favorite outfits once, saying they didn't fit the new me.
The new me?
Another thing that's been bothering me is how he handles money. He insists on paying for most things, which seemed generous at first, but now he uses it against me. If we argue, he'll bring up how much he's done for me financially, making me feel guilty. He's even asked me to quit my job because he can take care of everything. But I love my job and I don't want to give it up. The other day, he went through my phone while I was in the shower, claiming he was just curious because I've been acting distant. I wasn't even acting weird, but he said it like I had something to hide. He apologized later, but now I feel like I have to walk on eggshells to avoid upsetting him. When it's just us, he's sweet and loving. He talks about our future together, and he's there when I'm upset. But my friend's reactions and his behavior have me second-guessing everything. Am I overthinking this, or are my friends overreacting? Or is there something I'm too blinded by love to see? I don't know what to do, and their silence is starting to make me anxious. Any advice would be appreciated. I've dated this guy.
Yeah, this is not the guy for you or for any of us.
This is not the guy for anyone.
I would say dump him right now.
Run for the hills, honey. Run for therapy while you still can.
Get out of there, honey. Get out of there.
Sweetie, this is not the boy for you.
Your friend sees, okay. Your friends see something that you don't see.
Oh, she sees it. She sees it. She wrote it.
Your friends see the things that you see without your rose-colored glasses on. This is bad. This is very, very,
really
very bad. Everything about him is creepy and terrible and bad. And if you have been friends with people for years and they have always been a good friend to you, they've always looked out for you, and they're kind people, and they support you and they love you, and every single one of them says the exact same thing about some random stranger that you just started dating, they might be right about them. So I think you should consider what your friends are saying, and you should take all the things that you just wrote down and really analyze them. Why would he want you to quit your job? Why would he want to distance you from your friends?
Have you read Behind Closed Doors?
I haven't, but I could guess what it's about.
This man and this woman are so incredibly in love. He convinces her to quit his job, or to quit her job, and they get married, and he locks her in a room in the house, and no one knows what happens behind closed doors.
Yeah, and I guess nobody knew she was missing because she didn't have a job.
No, he would let her go out like with their friends, only with him, so she couldn't bring it up or say anything. Or he would put her back in the room, you know.
Yeah, this is very creepy.
This is not okay. I'm not kidding. I actually have dated this man. Like I all but could have written this story, and I didn't see it because I was in high school at the time, but I wasted 2 years of my life listening to my friends say, "Get out of this. You don't see it." And I didn't see it, but I could have written these things. I could have written that he doesn't allow me to see my friends without him, or that he blows up my phone, or that he tells me I can't wear makeup because I'm already his. It's one thing to say, "Don't wear makeup. I love you the way you are. You're beautiful. disrespectful or jokingly be like, oh, you've got no one to impress, I'm right here. It's one thing to say it in a supportive way, but to say you don't need makeup and you don't need to look like that because you're already mine, inappropriate.
And for him to throw out your things.
Throwing out your things is so beyond no.
That's actually like physical. That is just abuse. That's just not okay.
Yeah. And the going through your phone, I've been there too. It's caused blowout fights, even when like she said, you've done nothing wrong. You have nothing to hide. But crazy people will do crazy things and they will blame you for their crazy thoughts.
And I wonder too if her friends who are not being straightforward with her, if they were straightforward with you, would you even listen?
Yeah.
Like sometimes you can't be straightforward with your friend because they are not gonna, like, if you're in it, you're not gonna believe people. Yeah. You're going to be very defensive and try to convince them that they're wrong, and you're not actually gonna listen or hear them out. It's nearly impossible to do it once you're in it and when you're in that deep. So maybe that's why they're not going to tell you to their face, because if they tell you to your face, it's possible that you would just get mad at them and be like, well, F you guys, you don't love me anyway, you don't support me, you don't want me to be happy, and then you would leave them. Whereas if they just drop these little hints and they're like, well, maybe you'll see what we see one day, and you're like, well, what does that mean? It causes you to think about your own situation. I'm not saying that's the best case scenario or what they should be doing, but maybe they're just scared that you're going to be mad at them.
Well, I have two things to say. The first thing is that they often won't tell you. This is in my case when I lived this, when they did say things like you can't date him because he does these things, I would then approach my boyfriend and say, you do these things and it's not okay. And they would be like, what are you talking about? Who said that? And then I would be like, well, my close friend, like I was talking about it with Amanda and she did point out that, and then it's me or Amanda. You will not be friends with someone who drags my name through the mud like that. And who did I choose? Him.
Right.
I always chose him because I was blinded by love. And then I ended up cutting off a lot of friends in those years that I didn't even realize I was doing it until afterward. So that's the first point. The second point is that they did say something along the lines of, well, I can't tell you right now. So maybe they know that he's done something before and they don't want to just like throw it out there and her be like, either defend him for it or bring it up to him and it cause a bigger issue. I know why the friends aren't being straightforward with her. And you know what? Here's the thing, though, that I will say. I was in high school when this happened to me, and I had never been in a serious relationship before, and I really didn't know what was going on. These people are 25 and 27. They're adults. They're full adults. Like, I wish her friends would speak up more, and I wish she would know now that you really do. You know, your frontal lobe is fully formed now. Please listen to your friends.
Yeah,
please use reasoning and see that these things are not okay.
I think, though, that these things, it's like any age. Like, of course, it's maybe you're more susceptible to things when you're young and you don't have as much experience and you haven't seen as much.
I'm not blaming her.
No, but I am saying, like, it's still, like, 25 is so young still.
It is.
You know, it could be her first relationship.
Yeah, that's true. I guess it is, but it's also like you are an adult. You have more life experience to build thoughts around. And I would think that at this point in your life, if you're writing the story, you've probably read some books, seen friends in relationships, watched some movies. These things are not okay.
Yeah.
Not okay. You need to leave him. You need to for your own safety.